Instant coffee has come a long way since it first hit the scene back in 1890. What started as a convenient way to get a caffeine fix has turned into a daily staple for millions of people worldwide. Whether it's fueling a hectic morning, keeping you awake during late-night projects, or just giving you that warm, comforting boost, instant coffee has become a global favorite. But what goes into making your quick cup of coffee is anything but simple. It all starts with over 100,000 hardworking farmers in places like Brazil and Vietnam, growing millions of bags of coffee beans every year. These beans travel to high-tech factories around the world, where cutting-edge machines and skilled workers turn them into the granules you scoop into your mug. Some of these factories crank out enough coffee to make over 1 billion cups every day. From the blooming of delicate coffee flowers to the high-tech processes like freeze-drying that lock in the flavor, it's an incredible journey. Next time you pour yourself a cup, just think about how much effort goes into every sip. Coffee's journey starts in some of the most renowned growing regions in the world, like Brazil and Vietnam, famous for producing exceptional beans. Coffee plants first bloom with clusters of small, fragrant white flowers that only stick around for a few days. It's a fleeting but beautiful sight. Over the next 6 to 9 months, these flowers transform into vibrant red cherries, a sign that the precious beans inside are maturing. Farmers play a key role during this process, carefully monitoring the cherries to make sure they're harvested at just the right moment. About 95% of the cherries need to be a perfect red, with just a few green ones left to signal peak ripeness. Each plant can produce a few thousand cherries in a year, but it takes a lot of plants to meet global demand. Hand-picking coffee cherries is a time-honored tradition, but it's not always practical for larger farms. That's where specialized harvesting machines come in, revolutionizing the process by making it faster, more efficient, and mostly precise. These machines are equipped with rotating cylinders lined with up to 1,500 vibrating rods that gently shake the branches. The vibrations cause most of the ripe cherries to fall, while many of the unripe ones remain attached. However, these machines aren't entirely perfect. Some unripe or overripe cherries might still get dislodged in the process. To sort things out, additional steps like flotation tanks and gravity separators are used later to remove cherries that aren't quite right. The fallen cherries are caught on trays beneath the branches, ensuring minimal waste. The machines are impressively quick, spending just 2 to 3 seconds on each tree. In about 5 hours, one harvester can gather around 60 bags of cherries, a job that would take a team of workers days to finish by hand. After harvesting, the cherries are transported via conveyor belts into hoppers and rushed to the wet mill within 8 to 12 hours to maintain freshness. While these machines may not be flawless, their speed and efficiency make them an essential tool in modern coffee farming. At the wet mill, the coffee cherries begin their transformation into the beans destined for your morning brew. The process starts with the cherries being funneled into a massive hopper, which directs them into a gravity separator. This water-filled tank cleverly sorts the cherries by density. Ripe, heavier cherries sink to the bottom, while lighter, unripe ones float to the top. The unripe cherries aren't wasted. They're often repurposed as fertilizer or even used to produce biofuel. The ripe cherries then make their way to the depulping stage. Here, they roll over rotating drums with a textured surface that gently presses them against fixed plates. This process removes the outer pulp without damaging the beans inside. The pulp that's stripped away is often collected and transformed into nutrient-rich compost, used to enrich the soil for future crops. To put it in perspective, about 5 kilograms of fresh coffee cherries are needed to produce 1 kilogram of green coffee beans. This meticulous process at the wet mill ensures that only the best beans make it through. After the cherries are depulped, the beans are left with a sticky coating called mucilage. In traditional settings, this mucilage is broken down using fermentation tanks filled with clean mountain water. The beans sit in these tanks for 12 to 24 hours, where natural enzymes help dissolve the slimy layer. Farmers carefully monitor the process to ensure the beans don't over-ferment, which could impact their flavor. Once the mucilage softens, the beans are stirred and washed repeatedly to remove all residue, leaving them spotless and ready for drying. In modern coffee factories, the process is faster and more controlled. Instead of relying on natural fermentation, Large stainless steel tanks and high-pressure water systems are used to mechanically clean the beans. These machines replicate the traditional fermentation process, but with precise timing and consistent results. Automated agitators stir the beans, scrubbing away the mucilage as jets of water rinse them thoroughly. Sensors track the progress to ensure the beans are perfectly cleaned without any risk of overprocessing. The washed coffee beans are spread out on drying beds, or parchment in traditional settings, where they dry naturally under the sun. Farmers use rakes to turn the beans regularly throughout the day, ensuring an even drying process and preventing any mold or uneven moisture retention. This meticulous method can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the weather, as farmers aim to achieve an ideal moisture level of around 11%. In factory settings, the process is far more controlled and efficient. Instead of relying on the sun, industrial dryers take over. These machines use hot air circulated through rotating drums or conveyor belts to dry the beans evenly and quickly. Temperature and humidity levels are closely monitored to ensure the beans dry uniformly without losing their quality. What might take weeks in a traditional setting can be accomplished in just a few hours in a factory. When the beans reach the desired level of dryness, they are processed to remove the tough parchment layer that encases them. On traditional farms, this is done using a hulling machine, a simple yet effective piece of equipment that strips away the parchment to reveal the vibrant green coffee beans inside. These beans are then packed into breathable jute bags, carefully labeled with details about their origin and grade. The bags are stored in ventilated warehouses, where they are protected from moisture and pests until they're ready to be transported. In modern factories, the process is streamlined and scaled up for efficiency. Industrial hulling machines operate at high speeds, processing large volumes of beans in a fraction of the time. These machines not only remove the parchment, but also perform an initial cleaning to eliminate any remaining debris. The green coffee beans are then sorted by size and quality using advanced equipment like optical sorters, ensuring only the best beans move forward. Instead of being packed into jute bags for storage, many factories use vacuum-sealed containers or bulk bins that offer better protection against moisture and oxidation. These beans are often stored in climate-controlled facilities to maintain their freshness until they are ready for roasting. Once the green coffee beans arrive at the processing facility, the first step is to ensure they're free of debris and imperfections. The bags are opened, and the beans are poured into sifting machines equipped with vibrating floors. These vibrations shake off any dirt, leftover parchment, or small, broken beans. Advanced sorting technologies, like optical scanners, may also be used to identify and remove defective beans. The sorted beans then move to the roasting stage, where their transformation truly begins. They are fed into industrial double-walled rotating drums, heated to precise temperatures ranging from 370 to 540 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside the drum, paddles keep the beans in constant motion, ensuring even exposure to heat and preventing scorching. The length of time the beans spend in the roaster determines their flavor. Lighter roasts, which spend less time in the drum, retain more caffeine and a bright, acidic flavor, while darker roasts develop bolder, richer notes but with reduced caffeine content. Once the desired roast level is achieved, the beans are quickly cooled to stop the roasting process and lock in their flavor. This is done using a powerful fan combined with sifting arms that circulate the beans, ensuring they cool evenly. Once cooled, the roasted beans are ground into a coarse powder and brewed into a strong coffee liquid using steam and pressure. This liquid is then dried using one of two methods, spray drying or freeze drying. In spray drying, the coffee liquid is turned into a fine mist in a large chamber and exposed to very hot air, over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat quickly removes the water, leaving behind coffee granules in just a few seconds. Freeze drying works more slowly but keeps more flavor. The coffee liquid is frozen to about -58 degrees Fahrenheit and placed in a vacuum chamber. Over several hours, the ice turns directly into vapor, leaving dry coffee granules full of flavor. Both methods produce instant coffee that dissolves easily in water. The dried coffee granules are transferred to the packaging area, where high-speed filling machines take over. These machines are engineered for precision and speed, capable of filling up to 320 jars every minute. The granules are dispensed into the jars through automated nozzles, ensuring each one contains the exact amount of coffee. Once filled, the jars move along the conveyor belt to the sealing station, where airtight lids are applied to lock in freshness. Advanced sensors check each jar to ensure the seals are secure before the jars are labeled with product details. The entire process is seamless and efficient, preparing thousands of jars every hour for shipment to stores worldwide. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed diving into the journey of instant coffee production, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next behind-the-scenes adventure. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us which coffee brand is your go-to. And don't stop here. Check out our other videos for more fascinating insights into how your favorite foods and drinks are made. See you in the next one.